Right, why the Pixel 10 Pro? It feels like it went Instagram, it went social media, but it fails photographers. I've been using this phone for quite a bit now, and honestly, it's one of those devices that it feels like like a paradox. For a lot of people, it's gonna be phenomenal. I mean, you point at something, you tap the shooter, and you get this really good-looking photo, bright, sharp, clean. It just works, zero effort. But when you start looking at it from a photographer's perspective, gets complicated, sometimes even frustrating. It's like this phone has, I would say, like two different personalities. For most user, it's a dream. It's perfect. But for photographers, it can be this constant little fight. What I want to do here, I want to dig into why this happened. We're gonna talk about this whole Google's philosophy behind this camera in what the processing is actually doing. What's going on? This is a big one. What's going on with the raw file? And why this phone can be amazing for social media, for Instagram, for this kind of point and shoot photo, and still feel like soulless if you actually care about crafting your images. All right, the Pixel look in Google's whole memory philosophy. All right, we're gonna start with the Pixel look because that's kind of like a thing. Because this phone definitely has a look. A lot of people love it, and yeah, it's absolutely intentional. This camera is designed to create this punchy, contrasting, vibrant image by default. Shadows get lifted like like crazy. Detail is pull out of everything. Sky faces, backlit scenes. It all gets fixed for you. And honestly, from my humble opinion, the Pixel line is one of those phones that really marked a before and after in how phones process images. It kind of set up a visual template for that smart, HDR heavy, ready to pose aesthetic. I wouldn't say every other brand and every other phone just copied the Pixel, but I do think a lot of what we see now, this whole computational stack punchy look, um, I think it has a big dose of a Pixel influence in it. I mean, that can be beautiful if you like it. It can also be kind of soulless. You zoom in and it's like all overcooked, a little crunchy, a little artificial. And the wild thing is, what you see when you're framing the shot isn't always what you get after the processing pass. And that's honestly, that's so annoying sometimes. Let's say you set a warm, moody kind of scene with deep shadows, and the final image comes back sometimes cleaner, cooler, more correct than you intended. I do not like that every single time, honestly. And I mean that's not kind of like a random thing. That's Google's philosophy just showing up. I remember the guy running the Pixel camera literally said something along the line of your memories are your reality. What's more real than your memory of it? And the phone are built around that idea. The camera will happily bend the scene towards what it thinks your memory, what it thinks you will remember later, not necessarily what was actually there. Uh, on one side, that could be kind of sweet. It's trying to protect how the moment felt. But on the other side, and as a photographer, sometimes I don't want my memories corrected. I want the real light, the real shadow, the real mistakes, even if they're, I don't know, uncomfortable. That's where the tension starts. All right, the raw file. Not really untouched. You and I, we both know that. Now let's talk about the raw file because this is where photographers kind of hit a wall. Raw is supposed to be sacred. It's kind of like the digital negative. It's the part that belongs to you, but on the Pixel, the DNGs can come in looking soft, a bit hazy, suspiciously clean, in low light, I mean, not often, like 90%, 99% of the time, feels like processed raw. Noise reduction already baked in, metadata that doesn't quite match, that pre-smooth vibe all the time. And if you open it on Lightroom, you're like, why does this already feels like it's being worked on? And so instead of starting from a clean negative, it's kind of like you're starting from someone else edit and trying to peel it back. I already know somebody's gonna say, bro, why are you fighting this hard for raw on a phone when you own, a real camera? Just use your Sony. Just grab your Sony. Forget about all this. And yeah, 100%. A proper camera with real glass is always going to win. That's not even a debate here. But that's not the point. The point is sometimes you don't have your camera. You're, I don't know, probably in parking lot. You're walking the dog. Um, I don't know. You're leaving a restaurant. You're at this family thing, and sometimes things happen. So the light hits just right. The moment it's right there, and the only camera you have is your phone in your hand. In those situations, having a real raw would, I don't know, it with real latitude. It can be the difference between a throwaway snapshot and a photo that you're actually proud to keep, or maybe print or even deliver it to a client in a pinch. All right, the third party apps and the brain versus freedom problem. Now, you can dodge some of that. If you shoot with the third-party camera app, I don't know, open camera, Lightroom camera, whatever works best for you, you can get a DNG that looks a lot more honest. That's what it's eating my brain sometimes, It's noisier, okay, but it's got more texture, more micro details, more untouched information, You can feel the sensor actually breathing. But here's the catch. The moment you do that, you lose all the a lot of the pixel magic. No nice side, no fancy zoom, fusion, none of the crazy multi-frame stacking that makes those soft low light shot so clean. You get freedom, yeah, but you gotta give up all the brain and AI goody goodies, And then what annoys me is sometimes your workflows becomes open a third-party app, shoot raw, import a Lightroom, and change the default profile. Then you got to do all the editing stuff. It works, okay, but it's work. It's more work, more steps. And the bigger question is, why do I have to fight this hard just to get a neutral starting point? All right, black and white and the soul of the image. Honestly, I'm not gonna get too deep in this because I mean, this hit even harder on black and white. All that black and white lives on shadows, on contrast. It needs that drama. On the pixel, the way it loves to lift shadows can make black and white images feel clinical, too clean, too polite. So even when you shoot raw, you often find yourself re-adding what the phone tried to remove. More contrast, more read, more texture, a little grain, just to bring some emotion back into the photo. That's where it starts to feel less like a smart camera and more like a camera that keeps trying to correct whatever you do, your taste. AI in the line between tool and too much. And then, of course, we got to step into the whole AI stuff. The Pixel 10 Pro, it's loaded with. You got all the editing suggestions, subject move, object removal, sky replacement, and all the new gene pixel magic that can literally rewrite a scene for you. You can move people, erase stuff, generate new backgrounds, all from your phone. Now, is that cool? Yes, absolutely. It's impressive. No doubt. But we gotta be honest, at some point, this kind of stops being photography and becomes something else. I'm not even saying it's evil, it's bad. I'm just saying we should call it what it is. If you care about auto shape and intent, about being the one who made the image, then you have to decide how far into that AI work you want to go, because the Pixel is very, very comfortable crossing that line for you in the spur of the moment. You can take a photo, and then the phone, it's like, hey, you know what? What if I change the reality real quick? Just one, just one tap here, and we got a whole new world from your image. I don't know. Honestly, that's totally up to you. I mean, you can decide how far you want to go into that, how far you want to transfer your memories, and that's actually kind of the biggest part of that paradox. So, how much or how far am I going to let the phone decide how my reality it's looking every time I take a photo? Totally up to you. For me, I think preserving things how they actually looked has a higher value, has an intent, a human intent behind, some sort of a me behind. All right, with the Pixel 10 Pro absolutely wins Instagram, social media. Now, I'll give this phone full credit where it deserves it. The Pixel absolutely wins Instagram, social media, and the scrolling, the scrolling world. If your main goal it's to have your photos look amazing on a phone screen with zero effort, this thing it's a monster. You shoot, the phone thinks, you share, you're done. The pictures pop, they're bright, contrasty, clean, and they actually grab attention when people are just scrolling past. For brand work, quick social content, stories, event recap on the fly, this thing it's really, really good. You don't have to baby the file. You don't have to sit in Lightroom for 2 hours doing editing stuff. It's built for speed and impact, and it nails it. For most people, that's exactly what they want. Real world shooting, where it shines and where it fights you. So out in the real world, it's the same story. You got out for a walk, you point it at basically anything, and it's very hard to get an ugly, like a really ugly photo. That's the strength of this phone. It protects you from bad results all the time. Exposure, dynamic range, HDR. Most of it, it's handled for you. You don't have to think. But the second you start caring about a specific mood, a particular color grade, a certain way you want the light to fall, I don't know, it right away start pushing you back. You set up a scene with deep shadows, warm tones, because you want, I don't know, that kind of cinematic feeling, and the phone goes, okay, cool, I like it. I see you, but what if we brighten this or clean that and make it nice and safe here? And that's the part that drives up photographers crazy. Not because the phone takes bad photos, it doesn't. That's not even a discussion here, but because it insists on its own taste all the time. All right, the two cameras inside the Pixel 10 Pro. So what are we saying here? At the end of the day, the way I see it, it's this. It's like this. The Pixel 10 Pro, it's basically two different cameras in one body. For most people, it's amazing. Point, tap, done. It's one of the best point and shoot camera ever put in a phone. Honestly, for me, there's no question in that. For photographers, it's a very powerful tool with a very, very strong opinion. That's how I like to describe it. You can bend it to your will. You can use third-party apps. You can fight the raw. You can reintroduce rain and contrast and all that, but you're kind of working against the default way the phone operates and the phone thinks. No, of course not. It's not a bad camera at all. It's just not a neutral camera. So yeah, the Pixel 10 Pro absolutely wins the inside out, wins social media, wins convenience, it wins automation, it wins those I don't want to think, I just want something that looks good moments. But if you're the kind of person who actually enjoys the craft, who enjoy deciding how much shadow is too much, how much grain it's enough. I don't know what real looks like to you. Then this phone, it's not replacing your camera anytime soon. Your professional camera. It's a great backup. It's a great. I didn't want to miss this moment kind of device. It's just not my voice by default, you know, and that's fine. I want the option to be messy for that imperfect human way of seeing. You still definitely need a real camera, and honestly, I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't know. In a world where phones are constantly chasing perfect pixels, a perfect processing, a better and fast way to think, interpreting everything to please carriers. I don't know. I think the thing that still makes a photo feel human, it's the soul we live in.